Okay, I've been wanting to make this specific video for a very long time, about maybe 10 months. This is going to be, if you will, you read the title, you know what it is, but it is going to be Rosalie's birth story, and I have her sitting right here. You can hear her, she's like moaning. Every sitting right here, she'll probably pop in the video every now and then and get up on top of me. Come here. But I wanted to talk about her birth story because I've always wanted to make record of what happened while I still remember it. So let's start with a week before I had her. Okay, her due date was September 10th, which was the anniversary of my dad's passing. Yes, it was. So I was my whole pregnancy. I worked 12-hour shifts on my feet. I worked with clients with I still work with clients with mental disabilities. So it's a little bit of a difficult job, but I didn't want to go on light duty. And light duty is like you go in an office, you sit down, and you do paperwork, whatever they need, you'll do it. Like whether it's well, I really can't talk about work anyway. So I didn't want to go on light duty because I was already getting swollen feet, and I knew that if I sat down for 12 hours then I would get it was not going to help me. At least walking around everywhere at work was at least to keep me active during my pregnancy. It got to where I was already at 39 weeks. I was already 9 months pregnant, and I just couldn't handle it anymore. I couldn't do it. I remember sitting in a room with one of our clients, and the supervisor walks in, and I'm like, hey, I was like, I want to say that today's going to be my last day on the floor. She's like, oh, thank God. She's like, I don't want you to have your baby here at work, or blah, blah. I'm thinking, I'm not going to have my baby here at work, but okay. So I decided to go ahead and go on light duty. And I was technically only on light duty for 4 days because I started on Monday. I had got an excuse from my doctor saying that I could only work 8 hours a day, so they gave me, instead of having to go to work at 5:30 in the morning and stay until 6, they gave me 8 to 5 with my hour break. So, which they weren't supposed to do that, but they did it anyways because I was already about to pop up. I'm like 9 months pregnant here. I had a doctor's appointment on Thursday. And so I worked light duty for Monday till Wednesday. On Thursday, I went to my doctor's appointment because it was my last sonogram. I go, and the technician goes and she puts the sonogram on my belly, and she's measuring something round, and I'm like, what is that? And she's like, that's the baby's head. And already, because she had it up here, I already knew the baby was breached. Automatically, that means C-section. And my entire pregnancy, I was thinking I want to go into labor. I want to have it natural, but with pain medications, because I don't think I would tolerate that much pain. But I don't know. I've never really felt contractions because it was Thursday. My doctor goes and he tells me I'm gonna have a C-section. I'm bawling, crying because I wasn't mentally prepared for that. So it took me a good entire day for me to be okay with the fact that I was gonna have a C-section. He told me, come back on Monday. If your baby's still breached, which most likely she will be because she was already so big in my stomach, there was no way she was gonna turn around. I know some people say, oh, last minute, oh, this is her, by the way. Say hi. I know last minute they say their baby's turn, but I kind of already figured she wasn't gonna turn, so and she didn't. So for me to go in on Tuesday, and he was gonna have a C-section, or he was gonna do the C-section, so I was like, okay, fine. So I mentally prepared myself. I went in to work on Friday, and I'm like, okay, look, today's gonna be my last day because I go back on Monday. If she's still breached, then I'm having surgery on Tuesday. And he's like, oh, okay. He's like, okay, all right, that's fine. So I finished out my work day on Friday. Went home, finished getting ready to have her, or getting prepared for her. I cleaned my room, I washed the clothes, made sure everything was going to be nice and clean for when we came home from the hospital. So come Thursday, I go to the hospital at 8 o'clock in the morning. I wake up at 4 in the morning because I was used to waking up at 4 to go to work, to get ready to go to work at 5:30 in the morning. So I wake up at 4, can't go back to sleep. We go to the hospital at 8 o'clock in the morning. They get me in there. They put the monitors on to check to see if I was having any contractions or anything like that. Wasn't happening. It took a long time before they took me to pre-op. Once they took me to pre-op, my mom was there with me. My mom was the one who went into the surgery room with me. Rosalie's father is not in our lives right now, and he was not there for my pregnancy. He was not there for her birth. Anyway, so my mom was there, and I'm so glad she was there because my mom is my rock. She helps me out through a lot of everything I was going through whenever I was pregnant and all the drama with her father and everything. But anyways, so we get to pre-op. They give my mom the gown and the mask and the hairnet and everything. And right before they wheel me in, they're like, okay, let's check one last time. Let's make sure this baby's breached before we go in and we have your surgery. So I'm like, okay, fine. So they check me. Of course, she's breached. They wheel me back to the surgery room, and they tell my mom, okay, once she comes out, then you go with the baby. After we clean her off and everything, you go with the baby. So you could go with her to the nursery, and you can make sure she's with you. And I turned around and told my mom, I was like, yes, make sure that you go with her and you make sure that that's the right baby, that they don't do mix up or anything with the names or whatever. So my mom was like, okay, fine. So they take me first in to give me the spinal block. And at the hospital I went to, it's also a learning hospital where they have like nurses and stuff that take classes there and go to school there so they can learn how to be nurses and doctors and whatever. So they had, I'm pretty sure, I think it was a nursing student who tried doing my spinal block at first, and all of a sudden I felt like a weird feeling down my leg. And so I told her, I was like, I feel something like down my leg. And so the one who does the spinal block, I can't remember what his title is, but he's like, okay. So he went in there and he did it real quick, like real fast. They laid me back down, and then after like not even a few minutes, my entire part of like all this from like here down was numb. They put my arms, they tied them down to the board, put oxygen on me. They had the IVs on me. It was super funny though, because I remember when we first got there, one of the nurses was like, you can't wear anything in there, you can't wear contacts, you can't wear nail polish. She took the nail polish off my toes. Like, I was wearing socks, she took the nail polish off my toes, and I couldn't wear glasses. So I'm like, okay, fine. But I ended up wearing my glasses, and nobody else told me anything, so I was like, oh, okay, whatever. So we go in there, and the doctor comes in. He introduced me to his nursing staff and everything like that. And he starts, and it was real fast. It was so fast. He's like, all of a sudden, he's like, you're gonna feel pulling and tugging, and I felt the pulling and tugging, and then he's like, okay, he's like, here she is, and I'm sitting there, I'm waiting. I was like, is she gonna cry? And then she starts crying, and when she cries, I busted out crying with a big smile on my face. I'm crying. Like, it was the most like beautiful cry I had ever heard. And my mom's there. My mom took some pictures of when they took her out of me, and like and then the anesthesiologist, that's who it was, the anesthesiologist even took pictures of me and my mom and the baby. And like, I couldn't hold her at that moment because my arms were still tied down, but I got to see her, and she was so small and so like, oh, so beautiful. And I had her at 12:46. She came out weighing 7 pounds 9 ounces, and she was I can't remember her length. I'll put it in a little here. I'll show you right now. I do have a video stating all her birth stuff in a picture collage video. But after that, they took her to go to the nursery. Okay, so they wheeled her off, and my mom went with her, of course, and then they took me to post-op, and I was in the room. I don't remember falling asleep, but I think I did, because all I remember is they're like, okay, like, she's ready to go, and I just remember, like, waking up and like looking around at the nurses that were like busy going around, and then closing my eyes for a little bit, and then all of a sudden it was 3 o'clock. Like if I had her like almost like close to 1 o'clock, and then all of a sudden it was 3 o'clock. And so they wheeled me back to my room, and the surgery went really good. I didn't feel anything during surgery or anything like that. They wheeled me back to my room, and right away I called to get my daughter to my room. At that point, my mom went home. She had to go drop off my brother at work and then go pick up prescriptions for my grandmother. So she went home, and I was by myself. So I was sitting there, and I was waiting like 10 minutes. And like I called them again. I'm like, hey, can I have my daughter? Like where is she? And then they finally wheeled her in. And and a lot of people are like would ask me like, oh, how does it feel like to be a mom for the first time and everything like that? And I'm like, it just feels right. Like it feels like it's like this is what's supposed to happen. This is how it's supposed to be. So that first night in the hospital, my friend Christina stayed the night with me because my mom had to work and she had to take care of my sister's kids. And I had gotten a couple of visitors there at the hospital, which was very sweet. I loved seeing people. And like that first night, I didn't get any sleep. I was awake like the whole night because I was so worried about her. I just started breastfeeding right away. I told them, I was like, I don't want her to be fed any formula. I want her to be 100% breastfed. And they respected my wishes, and that my hair's sticking up, whatever. And but it was difficult. It was so difficult because she would latch onto one side, but the other side was more difficult for her. And then I would get worried because she didn't breastfeed on one side, or she didn't want it for a while, and like it was difficult. But I could go into another video about my breastfeeding later. But she had she was there, and she was mine, and I knew it, and this is her, and she's already gonna be a year soon, like 2 more months, and she'll be a year old. And our life together has been crazy and amazing, and I love watching her grow and grow up. And anyways, I love being a mom. It to me is one of the greatest things in the world. I've always wanted to be a mom, and having her in my life has been so incredibly amazing. You never know what love is until you have a baby. But yeah, that is Rosalie's birth story. She was C-sectioned. I was in a lot of pain afterwards. I did feel my scar. They didn't let me walk or get out of bed. I was bedridden for the first full day. The second day I was there in the hospital, I think it was maybe about till like 12 until they finally took me off of everything so I could actually start walking around. Walking for me was fine. It was getting up and out of bed or like reaching over to get her from the little bassinet bend thingy that they bring her in whenever they have to take her back to the nursery. She did stay with me overnight. I did have friends stay with me overnight so that I could keep her with me instead of her having to go back to nursery. And I preferred it that way because I was breastfeeding, so I would breastfeed her throughout the night. We did get to go home on the 3rd day. So we went home on the 3rd day. My mom picked us up and she took us home, and my brother and his wife stayed with me the first day, and then after that it was just me and her. And that's the way it's been, just me and my baby girl. So yeah, that is Rosalie's birth story. And soon we will have a 1-year birthday party for her. I'm so excited. Hopefully I'll be able to record videos of it, and like, oh my god, hopefully it turns out how I want it to be and everything like that. So stay tuned for that. I will go ahead and see you in my next video. Bye.